Very true.
GeoLeads is that tool to ascend. I mean, we use the term create leads on demand. I mean, when I need leads, I can go to GeoLeads and I can generate a list.
Because the management and transparency is what's very important. So once you submit a referral, you're going to have your own Home Advantage account, and it's going to tell you where everything sits. So if you have 10 referrals that you've sent into the network, it's going to give you all 10 referrals. It's going to tell you every milestone that that client is sitting in, whether they're touring homes, whether they're in escrow. And you now can manage through the Home Advantage application as far as what your pipeline looks like for the referrals that you've sent. And so it's pretty sophisticated, and it's all click of a button, guys.
Tyler, what's up, man?
How you doing? Happy to be here.
Good. Well, let's talk about GeoLeads, because I was talking about this to our coaching group yesterday, our entry-level coaching group, because they're trying to find out how to get more leads through farming, newsletters, more localized. And I thought this is a great way of doing it. In fact, I showcased a little bit of GeoLeads. So this kind of transitions perfectly into it. But when we're looking for leads right now in this tight market, how does that help us? How does GeoLeads help us?
So GeoLeads is and I may be biased because I'm the REDX guy, but GeoLeads I think is one of those tools that it doesn't matter where you're at in your business. It's a necessary thing. And a big reason for that, Tristan, is because people will often set aside time for lead gen. They're like, hey, I've got 2 hours a day for lead gen. But most of the time, even if you're looking at expireds and FSBOs and things like that, most of the time there are not enough of those leads for you to spend a full effective 2 hours or whatever it is that you have set aside, right? So especially newer agents, right? I mean, they're all banking on their sphere of influence, but they've not taken the time to build that sphere of influence over years, like many of us have who've been in the industry for a decade or more. And so GeoLeads is that tool to ascend. I mean, we use the term create leads on demand. I mean, when I need leads, I can go to GeoLeads and I can generate a list. And then there's some versatility that we can get into if you want about how effective that is. Because, I mean, when you look at something, yeah, there's quite a bit of versatility that we'll get into. So whether you want to work with buyers or sellers or just focus on building your database, GeoLeads does all of them. And so it's a necessary tool, I think, for anybody to add to their toolbox.
I like that, dude. And by the way, I mentioned you guys a few times in the book that our book just came out, Real Estate Prospect.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So what we do at the end of each chapter is we outline like the tech in each chapter.
Oh, nice.
And so you see REDX a few times in the chapter. Awesome. Because, dude, I'm like, when I was writing it, I was like, oh, you guys fit into everything. It's so true. You do. So show us what you got here, man.
That's awesome. So here's what I want to do is let me jump in and just showcase GeoLeads as a tool real quick.
Perfect.
But I don't want to spend a ton of time there. Because I've got some slides that I want to go through that are part of a bigger webinar that I usually do, but I want to talk some tactics. So people watching this can walk away and go, great, here's some things that I can implement right now in how to use that. Does that work?
That works great. Let's do that, because I think that's what we want.
Okay, can you guys give me access to share my screen?
Yeah, Jake, can you make him a host, please, or co-host, whatever you think is best.
There we go. Okay. So let's take a look at GeoLeads for just a minute. GeoLeads is a neighborhood search tool or a farming tool or a just listed, just sold campaign generator, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's so sweet because I can zero in on areas of my market. So if I zoom out, right, this is kind of the addressable market that I work right here is Utah County. And I can come in and target specific neighborhoods and areas and generate leads by having all of the homeowner contact information aggregated for owners in these areas. So if I come in here, for example, and go, hey, I want to focus on these blocks right here. these city blocks in Spanish Fork, Utah.
Okay.
Then I can just generate a list of leads right here on the spot. And so if I go create leads, it goes, hey, there's 262 properties found in there. I can even filter a little bit and go, you know what? I don't want to prospect to anybody that's owned their home less than 2 years. So let's
I like that.
let's preview it that way, because maybe I just don't want to focus. So then it narrowed it down to 168 properties. So if I hit this create leads button, it's going to go out for those 168 properties and find their owner names, their mailing addresses, their phone numbers. We're looking for cell phones. We're looking for landlines. It's VoIP. It's any 10-digit number that they may be using that's tied to that property. And we designate that for you. We show you, hey, this is a landline, this is a mobile. But it gives you that contact information for that specific area. So let's jump in here and talk about some of the tactics of how you could use a list like this, because now I've got 168 people. Now, what do I do with that? Because that's getting to this point is really, really easy. So let me, I've got some slides here.
I have a question because I was looking at this yesterday because we're breaking down. You know what? Let me, you're going to share some slides. I actually want to share something really quick with you.
Okay.
Because I was building this out for coaching, and I think you can actually help me live here because it helps out everyone. So
sweet. Put me on the spot, man. Put me on the spot.
No, this will be good because you will help me a lot. So because it brings up REDX. So I'm creating this document. Let me see. Share, almost there. There it is. Creating this document, tech investment breakdown. I'm only doing it for $500 a month. Okay.
Okay.
So I have you on right now. I have you right here. Like this is going to be REDX, right? You see geodialing as well as, but I'm pretty sure I can add you everywhere else. But I want to know cost really quick because I'm trying to build this out. It's like, if people are just going to cold call, this is how much you spend and where, right? If people are just going to do open houses and events. So where do you guys fit into this document when I'm highlighting it as these are the headings for each one? Where would you fit?
So that is a really, really good question. So for sure, I think the online leads, because as you're aware, we've got Ad Builder, we've got Brand Builder, we've got all these social tools that you can.
If I'm trying to get under 500, because this is just the
under $500. So Ad Builder for sure. REDX Ad Builder, which is our tool that allows you to create the ads for Facebook and Instagram right within the platform. But then more importantly, target the right people. So this list of 168 people that I just created, I could create an ad and target those people specifically. Or let's say I'm working expired listings. Here's what's so sweet is I can create an ad that goes, hey, your home didn't sell. Well, here's the top three reasons why properties in my marketplace aren't selling right now. And if I'm an expired listing and I'm scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and see something that goes, your home didn't sell, how relevant is that for me? Because online leads. So here's the key to online leads. You have to keep in mind that attention is the currency of the internet, which means we want people to give us their attention. What are we giving in return? What's the trade? What's the reciprocity for their attention? There has to be value, right? There has to be value. And if you can create value specific to their situation, oh man, I mean, at that point you nail it. So for sale by owners, you go, hey, trying to sell your home on your own? Or a geo lead, if you're targeting a group like that, you go, hey, interested what your home is worth or what homes are selling for in your neighborhood. So you can get real specific.
It could be in the farming area too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could put Ad Builder right in there.
So what's the price for Ad Builder?
It's $50 a month. And that gives you access to the tools and then all of the custom audience building and everything that the tool does for you. That's the most important thing. So if you're targeting expired listings, for example, and a new expired happens tomorrow morning, well, that automatically gets added to that custom audience that we're targeting. And if a property relists, we automatically pull it from that audience. That way your marketing dollars are only going to the people that you really want to build a relationship with. So $50 a month and then ad spend on top of that.
Ad spend. So what would you recommend on ad spend if it's like a single agent?
So if somebody's Yeah, like if they're just going to do like one ad at a time or a couple ads at a time, it's pretty fair that to put for a smaller group like this that we'd help you target anywhere from $1 to $3 a day is sufficient for ad spend.
Okay.
And so if
let's
somebody
say
were to
we do $100 a month is good, right?
yeah. I mean, if you said 100 and that goes right to Facebook and Meta when you're using our tool. We don't take a cut or a percentage of that. That's true ad spend dollars that are going right to the ad spend.
Got it. Dude, I love that. So then that means, would you also recommend doing it when you're cold calling? Just add the ad builder right here.
So yeah, and even though it's not a cold calling tool, think of ad builder. Social media is today's billboard, right? I mean, billboards on the interstate or on the highway, you pay money to put that up there. And in real estate, only 3% of our marketplace is going to transact this year. So you put that billboard up and you get in front of 100% of the people to target the 3% that you want. Social media and specific ad targeting is today's version of a billboard, but it's more efficient because I can target the exact people that I want to see my content.
Would you recommend adding it here as well? Like if I'm doing referrals, if I'm trying to target my past clients in my course here, could I do it there?
So here's a huge mistake that people make in the industry is we go through the trouble to generate a relationship and we transact with that person and then we never follow up. We never call them again. We think that because we transacted, now I'm their agent for life. And that's just not the case. And if you're not staying top of mind with your past clients, like on social media, creating both organic and paid content, they are seeing it from someone else, which means that when come time to transact again, it's going to be with a different agent, not with you. You can't make the mistake of assuming that just because they were your client once, that they will always be your client. And so you have to stay top of mind. So absolutely, I think the social media strategy applies anywhere, is making sure that you're getting in front of people and staying top of mind, keeping in mind that principle of value for attention, that exchange there. You have to make sure that you're providing value. So let me give an example. Let me give it. Yes. So let me give an example of a huge social media mistake that I often see. I will go to somebody's Facebook business page or their Instagram account, and I see pictures of their MLS listings or a link to their MLS listing, and I see pictures of their clients that transacted. Congratulations to Bobby and Susie who closed on this house. And the truth is, no one cares. There's the attention that they just gave. There's no value that you provided in exchange for that. And so if that's all you're doing on your social media accounts, guys and gals, you're spinning your wheels because you're not keeping in mind that value for attention exchange. And so, do more, create more valuable content.
All right. I like that. So I'm glad I went through that with you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, glad we could do that. And for $50 a month, super easy to implement.
Dude,
and
I love
use.
that.
So let me jump in here. Let's talk some of the GeoLeads specifics. Let me get my multiple screens here working. Let's see, how can I do this with?
Dude, GeoLeads work in Canada?
GeoLeads does not work in Canada. It does not. There's some PIPEDA stuff that prevents us from being able to target people the way that we want. But let me make sure you should be able to see GeoLeads on screen just like that. Is that right?
Yep, I got you. I'm looking at it now. Just
so
GeoLeads.
Yep, just GeoLeads. Okay, so I'm going to go through 4 techniques right here, Tristan, because again, I want to get really tactical for people. So they can walk away from this, and these are applicable whether or not you're using REDX GeoLeads. If you have data in general for a neighborhood, this works. I would argue that REDX is the easiest and most effective way to get that, but these techniques are pretty applicable. So real tactical, we're going to get into it. So there's 4 techniques. This first one is what I call keeping the seller promise, right? So this is the effort of going out there and instead of just doing the normal, hey, we put it on the MLS, we print up some flyers and put a sign in the yard. What else are we doing to get the home sold? And so this is all about identifying buyers for your sellers. So you go to your listing appointment and after ideally walking away with the contracted listing, Then what you do, go knock 10 doors, 5 to the right, 5 to the left, and use a script that looks like this. You're going to go, hey, my name is Tyler. I'm a local real estate agent. I just listed your neighbor's home, the Joneses. Okay. I listed it at $329, given the list price at $329,000. I'm going to be hosting an open house this Saturday at 2 p.m. I'd like to personally invite you to attend. I'm going to be present. Do you know anybody interested? And this is the key here, and you're going to see some themes as I go through these techniques. Do you know anybody interested in buying or selling in the next 30 days? Or are you interested in buying or selling in the next 30 days? So doing this does a couple of things, okay? Number one, you've just walked away with a new contracted listing. So under your open house tech right there, GeoLeads is awesome, because open houses are great or they're a failure. And the difference between a great open house and a failed open house is the amount of traffic that you could drive through the house. That's the difference, right? Is if you've got a packed open house, you walk away, you've got tons of new people added to your database, or you sat there for 4 hours on a Saturday and didn't meet a single person. So this is all about driving people into that open house, finding buyers for the sellers, because people that are, the neighbors also are going to come through there, but neighbors, these people that you're talking to, these people also may have real estate needs coming up. Now, from there, you're going to go and you're going to do an afternoon prospecting session. This could be the next day, whatever. And you're going to call up to 500 homes closest to that new listing. And you're going to follow the same script. Hey, it's my name's Tyler, local real estate agent, just listed this home behind you, south of you on, this street, whatever. I'd like to personally invite you to attend the open house that we're hosting at 10 o'clock on Saturday. Here's the address. Do you know anybody looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? And are you looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? So a few things come. You pack that open house because you're actually inviting people. You're not just putting balloons at the end of the street, which we all do, right? Little sign in the yard, open house with some balloons, and we think that's going to drive people. But then you're also getting out there. You're going to meet 500 new people, and you're asking, hey, do you know anybody looking to buy or sell, or are you looking to buy or sell? And the response is going to be yes, no, or maybe. And and regardless of what it is, if it's yes, great, we have that conversation. If it's no or maybe, you go, no problem. Would you mind if I followed up with you? How about a monthly email to give you market updates? Or would you like me to more specifically give you content on your home, like HomeBot and all these other cool tools that are out there that you can just plug somebody's address in? It'll send them a monthly email. There's amazing resources available to us that we can use, and GeoLeads is just the start of it. So here's what happens. Number one, you generate buyers for your listing. You can double side transactions, because when you're finding the buyer for the seller, it means that you get to claim the full 6%, which is really awesome. We all love to do that. You're going to generate traffic for your open house. You're going to love open houses because they're effective. That's the key there. And you're going to generate new listing appointments. So technique number two, and please jump in. I'm going to crank through these here because I know that we're short on time.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Go.
So technique number two, this is your standard just sold campaign. Okay. So you're ultimately what you're trying to do is advertise your ability to sell homes in the neighborhood, because we love when we get one sign in the yard and then a second and a third and a fourth come right after that in the same neighborhood, because then all of a sudden people see our name everywhere. It's like having a billboard 4 times over in a given neighborhood. And that's really, really good for business. So you go take your just sold listing and you dump that into the GeoLeads tool, and you generate 100 of the closest homeowners homes and their contact information. And you're going to call. The purpose of the call is to notify them that this listing recently sold. You're going to follow a script that looks like this. My name is Tyler. I'm a local real estate agent. I recently sold a home in your neighborhood, and we sold it for insert interesting statistic, right? We sold it for 98% of asking, 102% of asking, or we sold it, we were under contract in only 12 days or only 24 hours or whatever. Right now is a great time to sell because markets are hot, interest rates are low, which is not true at the moment, but right, we've got low inventory. Insert interesting statistic there. Do you know anybody looking to buy or sell their home with similar results in the next 30 days? Or are you interested in buying or selling your home with similar results in the next 30 days? So what ends up happening is as you do that, you start finding people in the neighborhood that go, oh gosh, yeah, we were just talking about selling our home, right? You're going to start generating listing appointments in that same area. And when you can do that, like I said, 3 or 4 or 5 signs in a yard at a time is an incredibly powerful marketing tool. It's a huge benefit to your business, right? So we want to get that in there. Now, technique number 3, we call this land and expand. You're going to go out and generate new opportunities in new geographic areas, right? So if I get this question all the time, hey, average price point in my home is, average price point in my area is 600. My average price point is 450. How do I break into a higher price point? Or if you guys are trying to break into luxury or ultra luxury markets, this is such a great tool because you know those zip codes that have the higher price homes. Let's get in there. That's the goal here. So you want to log into the MLS and you're going to find those areas. You may know these areas off the top of your head, but if you don't, let's say move into a new market, essentially what you're looking for is homes listed to homes sold. You want a ratio that is high homes sold to homes listed in a given neighborhood or zip code. Pick a few. Don't just go look at one and go, oh, I'm going to start there. Go find a few areas, do your research. It'll take you 10 or 15 minutes, but you'll start to identify those areas where homes are listing and selling really, really quick if you don't know those already. Put that into the GeoLeads tool, generate the contact information you're going to call using a script that looks like this. I'm Tyler. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm calling because there's been a high turnover of homes in your area in the last 90 days. I insert interesting reason why they would want to use you as an agent. And new agents, if you don't have that information, if you don't have that clout already, default to your team name, your company name, your office or brokerage, right? So if you go, hey, I'm new in the industry, I don't have that credibility yet. You go, oh, my team name, right? The Tristan real estate team, they're going to go, oh, okay, now we're building credibility in that. We sell homes faster or for more money with less headache than 80% of agents in the area. Do you know of anybody looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? Are you looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? So there's some consistencies that you guys are seeing with these scripts. Number one, the 2 questions at the end, these questions you should ask every single person that you meet, period. The gas attendant, the person at the gas station, hey, do you know anybody looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? Are you looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? And the worst thing that you can get is no. And then you go, oh, well, no problem. Do you have an agent who keeps you up to date on what's happening with the market? That way, when you do have a need in real estate, you've got a go-to expert. And half of the time, they're going to go, no, I don't. No problem. Can I get your email? And now all of a sudden, that's somebody that you've entered into your database and you're generating and cultivating that relationship. But the other thing is here is every time you call, there has to be a legitimate reason for the call. You can't just call and be like, hey, do you know anybody looking to buy or sell? And I know there's scripts out there that do that. And I know there's people that do that. But if you call with a legitimate purpose, hey, I just sold this home in the neighborhood. I'm calling because there's high turnover in your neighborhood. I'm calling because home prices have increased dramatically. Well, now all of a sudden, we're talking about providing value to that person. I'm calling because I sold a home in the neighborhood. I'm calling to do the same for you if you have a real estate need. And by doing so, you start to break down some of those barriers quicker than if you just call somebody out of the blue and go, hey, I want to sell your house, right? People can smell commission breath. And we don't want to give that, right? So let's look at technique number 4 here. This is keeping the buyer promise. And I love this one because it's so effective if you're working with a buyer. This is all about finding the homes for your buyers. I mean, I know agents right now are, over the last 2 or 3 years, are having a really hard time finding the home that their buyer wants. Low inventory is still a thing. So you want to identify that area that your buyers want to live in. It could be a specific subdivision, could be a city, whatever it is. Then you're going to generate up to 500 leads using that GeoLeads tool right within that area. You can filter for specific home criteria in Vortex. So if they've got a certain number of beds and baths or square footage or lot size or whatever, you can filter through that 500 and go, great, here's the 250 homes that meet the criteria that my buyers are looking for. And you're going to call and go, hey, I'm Tyler. I'm a local real estate professional. I'm calling because I'm representing a client who's looking to move into your specific neighborhood. Based on what I'm seeing, your home may be what they're looking for with home values where they currently are. Would you consider selling to a highly motivated buyer? Right? I'm calling because I'm representing a client. Purpose for the call. And then if they're going to say yes, no, or maybe to that question, and you continue the conversation, and then you go right into, thank you so much. Do you know anybody looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? Are you looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? And you consistently are finding those people. So not only are you prospecting on behalf of your buyer, for the specific home that they're looking for, finding those homes, which allows you to double in more transactions, because you're going to find people that go, oh yeah, actually we have been talking about that. Or yeah, highly motivated, make me an offer. And you come in and make a fair market offer. And now all of a sudden you're representing both parties and claiming a full 6%. But ultimately what this does for your buyer is not only helps them find the home that they want, but that type of problem solving for your clients is what creates loyalty. Just a transaction is not it, but when your clients see you working on their behalf, that's what creates loyalty in a relationship. That's what creates the evangelizing on your behalf. I mean, pretty soon those are the people that are like, oh man, you have to use our agent. Here's what he did to help us find this house. This, and this. And then all their friends and neighbors are like, oh, really? Yeah, we should use that agent. We should use Tristan because he prospected for us specifically. And pretty soon you start building a database that has all of this loyalty there, that as long as you're staying top of mind, you begin to transact over and over and over. And the ultimate goal, Tristan, for all of us, isn't it to have enough business walk in the door that we can live the lifestyle that we want and have the things that we want and help the people that we want? But it takes time to get there. And this is a great way to do it. Time
and effort, man. And I think,
right.
And a lot of people give up because they attempt to do it this way. And they say, hey, it didn't work out. And two things are missing. One is the consistency over a long period of time. And number two is the right approach, because I also see a lot of people saying the wrong things, approaching it the wrong way, right? And it's easy to give up. But yeah, we see that it pays off long term. It's like everything else, man.
Yes, I mean, you will get out what you put into it, and I know that you know this, but I see all the time new agents get into it, and they're like, I want to be my own boss, I want to make my own hours, I want to live the dream, and yet they suck at being their own boss. They never work enough hours, and they don't have a dream that they're shooting for, and it creates the wrong approach. It means that we're not effective, and it creates the attrition in the industry that we really don't want to have. We want to be experts, and unfortunately few of us are, and it takes that consistency to be able to do it. Like you said, consistency and the right approach. I'm with
you, buddy. This is great, man. I love this.
Awesome. So GeoLeads, let me give my plug here. GeoLeads, as I mentioned, is the tool, and I know that you guys have a link that people can get some extra discounts. GeoLeads is $60 a month, guys and gals. It's on a month-to-month basis. Get in there, go generate 2,500 leads a month, have the leads to fill your time, have the right techniques and the right approach. And between the training that REDX provides and the training that LabCoats has available, unstoppable, man. Such a great approach.
Question on the GeoLeads.
Yes.
Does that come with the dialer, or is that separate?
The dialer is an additional cost. And so if people are like, they're ready to jump in and do it, I'm such a huge fan of the dialer, because I mean, it's like putting on blinders, number one, right? I mean, how often do we prospect? We make a phone call, we're done, we hang up, and then we're like, why don't we just check Facebook, right? Or let me call my mom, like having the dialer, dude, somebody's gonna answer the phone. You gotta be focused. And that's one reason I love it. It's just fast as well. Like my tax guy, he doesn't use an abacus to do my taxes anymore. He uses software that makes him fast and efficient and effective and few mistakes. A dialer's the same way.
So my team, they use the dialer because I sent them, you're on social, right? So
Yeah.
I sent them this social media meme here. Let me open up. You're gonna like it. Takes a while for the screen to show. Okay.
No, I got it.
Me leaving work after making 7 calls and sending 2 emails. There you go.
Isn't that true?
I sent it to them.
Dude, that's so true. I mean, we love to pat ourselves on the back for being busy, but there's a difference between being busy and being productive. So, dude, I love that one. That's great.
I knew you'd like it, dude. So, last question.
Okay.
If we want to do the whole bundle, is there one price for GeoLeads, FSBOs, expireds, notice of default, renters, and the dialer. What's that whole package cost?
So that whole package with the, I want to say, don't quote me on this because I don't know right off the top of my head. I want to say it's $379 a month.
Okay.
If
The whole
you
thing
go with that,
is $379.
the whole thing for the single line dialer, the 5 different data sources, and then there's upgrades and add-ons and things that you can do. But typically for most people, if they start with all of that, they end up feeling overwhelmed, and then something that could work just overwhelms them to the point that they get paralysis by analysis, right? They just don't act at that point.
True.
Jump on and make a few really quick calls with a few leads, learn the scripts, learn the processes, and understand there's a learning curve involved. But my goodness, for $379 a month, I don't know. My 16 years in the industry, I don't know a better, more effective way to build your database and get transactions right now than using the tools that REDX provides. And that's not because I'm biased. That I don't know a better place that you could spend $400 a month.
Perfect. Last question. Can Tyler address the FSBO product in today's market?
In today's, give me more. Help me understand more what you're looking for, because
I'll give you the translation.
Yeah.
Is
please.
it currently working in today's market? And if so, what type of results is it looking like that people are getting?
So does it work? Absolutely. Are there tremendous amounts of FSBOs in every area? There's not. FSBO counts are low right now. Part of that is the seasonality. You're going to see come the end of May, we're right coming into the time of the year where FSBO counts are going to start to increase, because most FSBOs, over 60% of for sale by owner transactions, those that actually take place, happen between it happen in June, July, and August, right? The summer months. And so that's when you're going to see a lot of the FSBO leads increase. It's the summer, kids are in between school, real estate's hot right at that time. So you will see numbers increase. But here's what we're also seeing, because for sale by owners are emotional and they price their home emotionally, which means when they look at their back patio that they laid brick by brick, they go, there's value in me having done that. And truth be told, they don't understand that, look, your brick patio, the appraiser views that the exact same as your next door neighbor who has a concrete patio. Like, I'm sorry, there's just not actual value there. There might be curb appeal. There's not actual value in your patio pavers or your paver patio versus a concrete patio. And so the challenge that for sale by owners are having right now is accurately pricing the market. And that's really difficult, even more difficult than normal, because of the volatility that we've seen in the market in the last couple of years. They go, oh man, prices are up, prices are up, prices are up. My strategy is price it high and then get an offer that I want. And that is not a good strategy.
Yeah, that's very true, man. And that's, I think, through the summer, I don't think that it's going to change very much. Prices aren't coming down. Interest rates are probably not going to move very much. Mm-hmm. So we're still going to continue to see the same challenges. As far as for sale by owners, how does that look on the back end? Here, I'll show you. I just popped mine up so that people can understand. This is what it looks like. Hold on, almost there. Screen share. There it is. So you'll see on the left, I chose, expired. I chose FSBOs. And while Tyler was talking, it loaded all the latest ones, right? So there they are. I can scroll through. Mine have been on here for years, so they can go back for years, right? I have all the data. But that's what it looks like. And then you just grab one, and then all the information is here. For me, I've also got information at the top here. Personal DNC, callback, hot lead. What do I want here? It's got a lot of information.
The market and the data insights.
For me, this is the most important piece that you guys added over the last 2 years. It's been awesome. But yeah, data insights, all this other stuff.
Yeah, go back to that market insights, because here's what's so rad is I can talk to just about any agent in any market and go, hey, what's average price point in your market right now? And they know that. But we all know that not all zip codes are created equal. And if like Spanish Fork, Utah is going to be very, very different than, say, Alpine, Utah, or Carmel, California is going to be very different than Bakersfield. And so knowing that having this data right here, it breaks down all those real-time market statistics that you see right there on the right-hand side, zip code by zip code, and then you can look at homes versus condos as well, condos, townhomes. So it gives you that expertise in any zip code to that specific zip code at the press of a button. So I know what all that data is for Playa del Rey 90293. And that is very specific because I'm sure there's zip codes real close to you, Tristan, that don't have the same numbers as Playa del Rey.
Yeah. Oh, of course, dude.
It's important to have that knowledge. You don't have to know it off the top of your head, but you got to have it at your fingertips. That's the value in that.
Michael says, dude, I feel like we'll never end with amazing questions, but here, Michael says, been in the industry 23 years, been a REDX customer a couple of times. Wary of calling expireds because of lawsuits, right? Makes sense. Looking towards FSBOs because they've raised their hand. Thoughts? That's a very valid question.
No, I'm with you. Expireds right now, especially if Michael, if you're in California, I know that some of the MLSs down there have made some announcements about whether or not you can call for expired listings. So I'm with you. For sale by owners and expireds prospect very, very similarly. They have a lot of the same objections. The one big difference between a for sale by owner and an expired is commission, right? They want to save that money. The value in approaching a for sale by owner, the value that you can provide is helping them understand the math, helping them understand that, look, agent assisted homes in 2021, I don't know the 2022 statistic, but agent assisted homes sold for 26% more than for sale by owner homes in 2021. So if you help them understand that, look, as an agent, there's a chance that I can get you more money. I mean, the value is the bottom line. How much money can you get in your pocket? So if I can put more money in your pocket, even with my fee taken into account, doesn't it make sense to invest to work with an agent over trying to sell it on your own? It's a numbers game. It's a math game. And so the for sale by owners, though, are going to prospect very similarly. Their home is active. They're actively trying to sell it. They're typically motivated. There's a spectrum of motivation, but they're typically motivated. And usually there's some reason behind putting the home on the market. They've already purchased another home. They're upgrading, they're downgrading, they're taking a new job, whatever it is. And once you pinpoint that, it becomes very, very easy to work with that person. So absolutely, Michael, for sale by owners would be a great place to go.
On the expired ones, for those of you who aren't calling because you can't, I think this is where you go to what we were talking about originally when I broke down that sheet, the ad builder, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then you throw in the retargeting with the right messaging, I think.
Yeah.
Michael, I think the ad builder for you specifically, that would probably be a big win.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, can I show that real quick, Tristan? Do we have time?
And you, because I don't think I've seen it. That's why I didn't add it. And that's why I was waiting for you to talk to you on this.
Okay, awesome. Let me show it to you. Ad builder is so sweet. So essentially what ad builder does is a couple of things. Number one, it simplifies the ad creation process, because if any of you have ever spent time in the Meta Business Manager where you're creating ads in Facebook and Instagram, it was not designed for an agent spending $100, $200, $300 a month. It was designed for Nike, who's got a $25 million a month ad spend budget with hundreds of ads and multiple campaigns. Because if you look at it, Facebook and Instagram are for-profit businesses. They're going to build for the client that makes them the most money, and it's not us. And so it's hugely complicated to go in and create your ads and target the right people. And so Ad Builder does, number one, simplifies that. So I can come right in here in Vortex, Ad Builder's right up here. I click create an ad, and maybe I'm driving people to an open house. And then we go, okay, what's the goal of running your ad? And the reason why this is important is because the algorithms used by Facebook and Instagram will take into account when somebody is most likely to be online, when they're most likely to click. And so it's important that you go, hey, reach and awareness. For example, an open house, I want as many people to know about that open house as possible, and balloons at the end of the street aren't cutting it like we've already established. So I go, reach and awareness. I want to show this to as many of the people that I choose to target as possible. Then you can come in here and you can target the very specific people that you want to target. Now, you've got to have at least 1,000 people in that list. But I can come in here and all of my GeoLeads, for example, I've got 13,000 GeoLeads. I could say, I want to show this ad to all 13,000 of those people. and I go
Yeah, I
next.
see.
So if I'm driving people to an open house in Orem, Utah, well, why not grab all of my GeoLeads from Orem, Utah and target those people with an ad? And then I come right here and I create my ad. So let's go upload file. I'll put a screenshot of my son that happened to be the top photo right there. This is my son, Connor. And I go, hey, your home didn't sell, right? Or whatever. And I'm targeting expired listings, or I'm targeting GeoLeads, right? Or
how custom can we get on these ads, dude?
So very, very custom. So in fact, if you want to take a minute here, we could build like a legitimate ad.
Dude, if I couple this with, and this is just me asking, if I couple this, if I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to target all the expireds in Westlake Village, Malibu, Calabasas, and I'm going to, send the ones I really want, like the ones I really, really want, like those 10 that I really want. I'm going to send them a handwritten note through something like Handwritten on top
there you
of
go. Yes.
Right? With specific messaging. I can target those that are all luxury with a specific type of messaging that hits them all, right?
Yeah, so watch this. So check this out. Let me go back, because this is the power of the data that you can get from REDX and the ad builder tool. So as soon as we load here, so let's go like this. I'm going to create a filter. I'm going to say expireds.
All right.
I want cancels and withdrawals.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to do another filter here based on price.
Ooh.
So nope, that's not it. Listing. So I'm going to go include a minimum price of $1.5 million.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So got to have $1.5 million. I'm going to save this because I want to come
almost 4,000 leads. I like it.
Yeah, almost. So let's see here. It's going slow because I'm sharing my screen here. But new filter name. Let's call this. We'll call this luxury expireds. Okay.
Got it.
There's a bad delay right now while I'm sharing my screen here. So, okay.
Dude,
so,
okay, go ahead.
No, so it's gonna pull up all of my expireds here once it loads that have a price. So I've got 300 of those above $1.5 million in my marketplace right now.
Got it.
So then, if I wanted to target those specific people with an ad, I can go, hey, I can with traffic, we could drive people to a landing page. We could drive people to a registration page, to a lead form, to, drive them right to your website if you want to. Like maybe you're a luxury agent, you only work luxury properties, and you go, look, I want to drive more of those homeowners to my website. Well, then I could go, let's target these people. We're going to call this, luxury expireds. This is the ad that I'm running. And then I can come in here and I can go, hey, here's my luxury expireds.
Boom.
And now, granted, like I said, you got to get over 1,000. So let's just grab this other random filter for the sake of the demonstration here. So now I've got 1,200 specific people that I'm going to be showing an ad to. And maybe I go, maybe my ad says real estate is different for luxury homes. Like if you're a luxury homeowner and you're scrolling your Facebook or your Instagram and you see an ad that says real estate is different for luxury homes, is that going to capture your attention? Value for attention, right? We've talked about that exchange. And
why didn't your home sell the last time?
Yeah, why? Yeah, if you're talking about a luxury expired listings,
dude, send them over to your website on a blog that says 10 reasons why homes don't typically sell the first time around, right?
So look at this. We go, look, ad message. Real estate is different for luxury homes. Check out this blog post.
Dude, I'm getting some great ideas because now I'm going to go to ChatGPT, write 10 reasons why luxury homes don't sell the first time, expand on it, put it on my website for Chime, then run an ad through here, retarget Malibu, Calabasas, and Westlake Village for canceled and expired, and then boom.
So here's the value in Ad Builder, right? Is for those of you that can't pick up the phone and prospect to expireds, or maybe you don't want to pick up the phone and prospect to expireds. This is a way for you to get in front of those people without being so confrontational or violating something that you should violate, right? So now, yeah.
Can I upload a list here? Like, so then I can do whatever I want? Like, I can't. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes. So
Jake's
like-
on the other line. Jake, we can upload all of our Z buyers
Yes.
too.
Yes. So that's the value is upload your database, put all of your past clients right here into Vortex, and then target them with an ad. Or I mean,
Dude, you
it's
didn't tell
so
me you simplified Facebook lead ad retargeting.
yes,
That's crazy.
yes. We've tried telling you, Tristan, pay
Man.
attention, buddy.
You know what?
So-
I'm slow. Okay, I'm slow.
No, this is so amazing because it eliminates, like I said, the complication of creating ads and simplifies the targeting, right? Because if any of you have ever tried to create an ad for housing using the Meta Ads Manager, Facebook or Instagram, the targeting is really difficult. In fact, it gets more difficult with time for privacy reasons. So right now, if you're creating a housing related ad, the smallest geographic area that you can target is a 30-mile diameter spot on the map, which that's my county. I mean, that's 750,000 people. And if I'm paying money to get in front of the right people, I don't want to be in front of 750,000. I want to be in front of the 3% of those people that are going to transact in the next 12 months.
Dude, hold
That's
on.
my expireds, my FSBOs.
Okay.
That's those people.
Okay. Let's do a whole webinar on this. Like, let's pick 2 target audiences. I think if we pick most business for most agents comes from referrals, right?
Yes.
So one, let's have a pretend ad that we run for past clients in Sphere, right?
Okay.
And then let's run one with where REDX originally started, which was for sale by owners / maybe expireds, or just choose one, right?
Okay.
And then we can do the whole thing and showcase how that looks so people can really see the power. Because I think one thing that we're missing as an agent looking in and being like, okay, cool. Where do they land? How do they get converted? What's the next step? I'd like to focus on that.
Yes, absolutely. We should for sure set that up because that is the next question. And there's always questions about like, hey, now that the ad's created, or what are some of the other things, which we didn't quite get to, but you can set the dates and the budgets and everything right here inside of this tool that we've been looking at here, which makes it super easy. Even all the disclaimers that Facebook requires that you check the box for is all built right into the system. And then your ad, the impressions, the clicks, the statistics of performance are all going to be built right into Vortex. So you can look and go, what ads do I currently have going? Where am I driving those people? How is it working? And then the fun begins for people that like to test and A/B and tweak and analyze. Oh man, that's when it gets really fun. Is optimization. That's where stuff happens.
All right, buddy. I like this. We went way over, but
Okay.
it was really fun for me.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean,
Thanks.
yeah. The truth is, we've got amazing stuff at REDX, and the next 12 months we're going to have so much more amazing stuff coming.
Okay. I'm going to send you this Google Doc. I
Okay.
want you to see what I'm missing. Maybe you can add something to there, right?
Okay.
And this way, at least we can have REDX involved where you think it fits better. Okay.
Perfect. I'm going to give you one last, because I know that you love the AI stuff.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked it out already, go check out godmode.space. Okay. Godmode.space. It is.
Dot.
Yeah.
Space.
Go play with that. I bet
Okay.
you'll do a whole webinar on that lately.
Oh, damn, dude. I'm already liking that. It looks just
dude.
like ChatGPT. This is great. All right.
Yes,
Thanks, buddy.
but it's even better. So that's a tip
I'm
for everybody else watching.
I'll email you right after this.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks,
Thanks.
guys.